what's that movie? Is it ahead? I'll ask Alenka, she'll say, I haven't seen it.
Welcome to the Haven't Seen It podcast. This is a podcast where we bring people on the show and we get them really drunk and they tell me about a movie that I've never seen before. I'm Alenka Zach.
And I'm Will.
You guys, we're back on the show. We are done with Halloween. It's over. No more spooks. I can finally sleep at night again. Very happy about it. And guys, what, Will? What?
Nothing. I didn't say a thing.
I know, but I hear you. I feel you. I feel you wanting to interrupt me.
No, I have nothing to say except how was your Halloween?
Fuck you, Will. I'm not talking about this. I'm just kidding. Guys, we're, like I was saying, we're done with Halloween. We're back to the usual, back to the regular ass movies. Although, I think today will come with a few surprises. I feel like this movie that we're going to talk about is pretty freaking intense. And I'm very excited to introduce our guest for today, the wonderful, super talented, contemporary artist, Adriana Polanic.
Hello.
It sounds like you should be saying, here's Johnny, which I only know as a meme. I think.
Of course.
Yeah.
You think?
I think. Somebody said it a lot yesterday.
That's so sad.
Listen, I actually watched a movie yesterday. And through most of it, I know, I watched Insidious 1, 2, and half of 3.
That's impressive.
I know.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
We can't do those next year?
No, but I'll tell you something. I already saw them prior to me watching them last night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're spooky.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
Trey spooky.
Recently, I know that we're done with Spooky Month, but
I know.
recently there was a study conducted that ranked Insidious as the most, one of the most
Insidious
terrifying
movies.
of all
I
time.
heard that too.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The
I was
most one was
also
Why,
Sinister.
though? Sinister was number
It was a
one?
study conducted. Yeah,
what about that
because
fucked up
here's
movie
the
we
thing.
talked about? What was it called? With the
That
fucking
was like
crow?
number 3.
Are you shitting me?
Hereditary.
Hereditary is
Yeah.
not
That
number
is
one?
So scary.
Yeah.
No, because it's not about feel. It's literally about BPM, heart rate.
Oh,
during
that's
the movie.
interesting.
Scientists hooked people up, like a large group of people, had them watch like 120 hours of the best horror films as determined by Reddit lists and critics lists.
Interesting.
And Sinister had the most, the highest average BPM for participants.
Oh, that was a
But
fucking creepy movie.
Insidious had the biggest scare moment for BPM.
What was the
interesting.
scare moment?
Hereditary's scarier, for sure.
I have no idea, but it's probably one of the red-faced dudes or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. The old lady
That's
was
a
pretty
fucking
scary
terrifying
too.
movie.
Yeah. I thought the red
you
fight.
know what though? Yeah.
Talk to me.
Oh, what? No, you
I was
go.
just going to say, I think the red face guy, not as scary as I feel he could have been. Like, I kind of
I
think,
agree on that.
yeah,
one.
I think he looked kind of goofy, which made him a little less scary and more easily digestible. The old woman, though, it's not that she's
that's
old
terrible. Yeah.
that makes her scary. It's that they put
she's
the
a woman.
makeup. No, it's that she's she's actually a man, though. It's actually a man, which you find out more about in the second movie. But this is not a fucking review of whatever those fucking movies are called, you guys. Insidious. I'm actually shocked I've seen those.
Me too.
This is
one episode into not Spooky Movie Month, and we're already talking spooky movies.
I know. And I actually do. You know what? Maybe one day I will tell you guys all about Insidious, because I think that is the full series other than Star Wars that I've actually watched. Because I was watching I was watching them all back yesterday and I realized I'd already seen them all. You know?
Ooh, yes. Patreon idea number 357, Alenka movie reviews.
Well, I just make up the ideas and you have to implement everything, because I won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Back on to this movie, though.
I don't think we even introduced.
We
the
haven't
movie.
introduced it yet. Oh, baby. You guys want to
no.
know?
Indeed.
Do you want to know? You guys want to know what movie we're talking about? Do you want to know?
Yeah, I do.
We're talking about Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Beautiful downtown Las Vegas.
Yeah, it sounds like it should be on a radio station.
That was
Mhm.
really
Yeah.
good.
Thank you. Will was probably better. It's fine. Yeah, boys.
Yeah, I've got that smooth jazz radio voice, you know.
You kind of do. I will say you've got that going for you, amongst other things, I'm sure. Yeah. This
thank you.
sorry, Will, I didn't mean it like that. This movie I think I know about, but I actually don't know for sure because I think maybe Family Guy made reference to it.
Oh,
But
yeah,
they
of
did?
course.
Okay, because
Probably.
Adriana's also a big Family Guy fan, so this is very exciting for me. I'm just not certain if they were talking about Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and I just thought they were.
What's the scene?
Oh, I don't know. I just feel like, okay, do you guys want to know now or...
I would like to know now.
I know, but Will usually keeps us on track.
Let's change the format.
Usually there's a format,
Let's
and
hear
I
it.
don't... I'm sorry. Okay, so here's what I know.
You know what? This
is
movie throughout all conventions. So let's throw out
Yeah.
convention for this podcast.
Yeah, let's say fuck convention. Why don't we
go
start
ahead.
with the drink first, you know? I'm just kidding. That'd be fucking
Oh
crazy.
my god!
That'd be insane. This movie, as far as I know, is a wild trip, literally acid-filled. Some sort of
Includes
hallucinogen drugs are heavily a part of this movie. Johnny Depp's in it. He wears one of those caps that are very fashion now, I'm pretty sure. What are those things called?
They like a Tilly hat or like a campfire
it's like
hat,
yeah,
fishing hat.
yeah, like
Yeah.
a forest safari hat type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Like,
it's one of those hats.
yeah.
I feel
think
like
forest hat is the correct term.
Yeah, I think he's got a Hawaiian shirt on because he's going to Las Vegas. I don't know. I think he's road tripping. I want to say, and this might be where I'm totally off, but does a prostitute get murdered in a bathroom in a hotel in this, or am I way out? I don't know. Okay, Adriana's face is telling me I'm totally wrong.
You would think that, like, you would, like, when you think about this movie, and I did the same, even though I've seen it before, I was like, doesn't this happen? Isn't there so much more higher stakes? And then you
I
realize,
was
no,
making a face
no, it
because I'm
doesn't
like,
happen.
wait, I just watched it, but does she get murdered?
Okay, so
It's so weird.
So there's a prostitute, I guess, in this movie. Perhaps. That's my
No.
guess. Okay, great. There's a lady. I don't know what movie has somebody. I thought for sure that a young lady of sorts visited somebody and she gets murdered in the bathtub. I feel like that is a movie that happens in some sort of
That's
movie.
definitely a movie.
But I guess it's not this
you've
one.
It's
got-
not this
You've got some pieces that I can see where you might be picking those up.
for sure.
Yeah.
They happen in different ways, not totally how you're saying.
Okay, that's fine. Maybe it was just all an acid trip. Maybe this movie's all just... I don't even know who Johnny Depp is in this. Like, is he just a fucking druggy guy? Or is he like... Oh, he's just
More
a
or less.
druggy guy. It's just a regular Tuesday for this guy, maybe. I don't know. That's
Mhm.
pretty much what I know.
A pretty accurate description. If you're just guessing what the movie's about, that's you hit a lot of key points.
Perfect.
Some no, but a lot
Some
yes.
know. Yeah. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
pretty much all I
think
could.
you nailed it, really.
Well, thank you. That's all I can gather.
Well, Adriana, I want to know why you picked this movie.
That's a hard question to answer. I think I remember watching it the first time and feeling like I can't finish this. Like, I think I got through maybe 20 minutes. I was like, I can't understand what's going on. So I turned it off, then attempted it again. And I think when I got to the lizard scene at the beginning, I was like, okay. interesting.
I'm so confused.
Exactly. Like I was confused too, and I wanted to understand it, and I finally got through it, watched it a bunch of times, and I guess that's why I picked it. It was a challenge for me at first. I think it's so bizarre and out there and interesting. Like the characters are weird, the colors are weird. Every scene is individually weird. Yeah, that's why I picked it.
So basically, like doing this podcast is like your continuing education course on Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
You're like, I think I get it, but I won't know for sure until I can explain it simply to Alenka. You know,
That's exactly how I feel. I was watching it today and I was like, I think I get it.
You can explain it simply.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We shall see.
Yes.
When who directed this movie? Because it seems like a fucking mess.
Damn, I can't remember.
Terry Gilliam.
Who's that? Who is he?
He is of Monty Python fame. He was part of Monty Python, but he's a prolific director. He's directed movies such as, he directed 12 Monkeys, which is another very kind of trippy,
I've seen that
movie. Yep. And he directed Heath Ledger's last film, The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
Oh, I've seen that. That's really weird too.
What's this guy's deal?
Yeah, he's a very weird. Well, I mean, he was part of Monty Python, and I'm pretty sure like any trippy shit in Monty Python was his idea.
All right, so he just is he a well-known whatever? Is he's just artsy?
People know him.
People know him. They know his name. Okay.
Well, he's got a different kind of humor when it comes to serious matters.
I also actually, and we will get into this drink probably next, but I do feel, good. Yeah, it's a very good one, Will.
It's like
congratulations.
Candy.
Yeah, you fucked us this time. This one, I feel like the drink is there's also, I want to say he's constantly drinking from a daiquiri glass.
In this movie?
I don't know. Yeah, it kind of feels like at some point, does he not?
Usually have a beer or something with him. Usually,
yeah.
I just felt like he'd be more of a daiquiri kind of guy.
I can see why you would say that because the hat and the glasses and the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. But no, Will, you made something else.
Yeah, no. So we'll get into the drink. There's there's a specific reason why it's this drink. As one, it's completely referenced in the movie and the book.
It's a book?
It is a book. I haven't read it, but
what?
Yeah, this is
a book.
This is an adaptation of an semi-autobiographical book.
Shut up.
From famous author, famous journalist named Hunter S. Thompson. I'm sure you've heard that name. You had to have heard that name.
Don't tell me what I know.
I won't tell you.
I don't.
Well, he's quite a famous author, mostly journalist though. But Johnny Depp basically plays him. That's who the character is supposed to be. But
they don't outrightly say that or whatever. Okay.
No. But the novel that he wrote, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, is kind of like a semi-autobiographical novel of a real weekend him and his attorney experienced on psychedelic drugs.
Makes it so much better.
So there is another character. Okay, we will get into this. Okay. I thought it was a solo trip.
Well, let me get to the drink.
Okay, yeah.
So the
get
drink
into it, baby.
that I made for today, the reason the drink is so good is because it's actually a real drink.
Oh,
I didn't make it up.
Makes perfect sense. Makes so much sense.
It's an already invented cocktail. It's called a Singapore Sling. And
that's
what we're calling this episode.
We knew this. Yeah. Great.
And a Singapore Sling, one is Hunter S. Thompson's favorite drink, apparently.
Oh, really?
What a bitch. This is a sweet beverage.
Early on in the movie, Johnny Depp is we were sitting 24 hours ago. We were sitting in a hotel drinking Singapore Slings with mezcal on the side.
That's right.
With mescaline?
It's kind of a quick line. It's a pretty famous. Yeah.
What is that? I'm also unaware of most drugs, and that's what assume what that is.
Well, we're
Mezcal?
gonna get into the drugs because I'm gonna probably pull up a cheat sheet of what drugs are.
If you could, because I feel like, honestly, and Adriana and I, we actually went to Catholic school together, so maybe we can relate. Because you guys know, Catholic
drugs
school
in
really
Catholic
fucks you
school.
up.
And I think I know what you're about to say too.
We had like one day of class where they talked about heroin, I think, and that was it.
I
vividly
that.
remember the spoon picture.
I remember the spoon picture too.
Yeah,
And I definitely remember all the teachers being like, "Don't ever smoke weed."
I don't really remember that, but they were very adamant we didn't do any drugs. And they were also against divorce
Do
too.
not smoke
true.
the weed.
Yeah, we used to have a game called Divorce. Kids are fucked, you know? Literally, it was just kids running around linked in arms, and other people that weren't linked would try to break up the linkage. And we all called the game Divorce, and the teachers really didn't like that.
I think that got banned.
Oh, and yeah, it got banned. Anyways,
All right.
any other detail? You want
Well,
to tell us what's
a
actually in this?
Singapore
Sorry.
Yeah, a Singapore sling. Now there's a lot of shit in this, so I
There
modified
is.
it for
Mhm.
myself. I'm sure you
Did
might
you?
have modified it for you. And
I only
you,
left out
listeners
one
at home, you
ingredient
can
this
modify
time.
this how you want. Oh wow!
I know.
So Singapore sling. The base liquor is gin. You want to put some gin in there. Sure, there is measurements, but just throw it in there. I don't care.
Yeah, I was kind of pissed
You
actually
wanna get
that you
some-
didn't have measurements.
Cherry liqueur, Cointreau, Benedictine.
Which is, that's the ingredient I left
Grenadine.
out.
And
Yeah.
what is that, by the
Okay,
way?
I don't know really what that is either. It's a
Well,
type of liquor. I
it's
really
a
don't
French
know. I am
botanical
not a
something.
mixologist.
Yeah.
Great. Love it. Yeah, it's like an orange. It's like an orange liqueur.
Is it?
A little bit.
Oh,
I think so,
Oh.
unless Cointreau is the orange liqueur.
That's the
I'm not
orange
sure.
one.
Grenadine.
Whoa.
You want some lime juice. Pineapple juice is kind of like the majority of the drink, I would
The thing.
assume. That's how I made it, at least.
Yeah.
we did
And you
use
got a
pineapple.
dash of bitters. And then you want to garnish with maraschino cherries, pineapple chunk, and orange slice.
Yeah.
That's what's garnished in the movie. And I
Mhm.
guess how Hunter S. Thompson liked it.
Mhm.
But you can probably just garnish it with an orange slice if you want, or just one of those fruits. if
Or
you don't have
nothing.
all of them.
Garnish is not
Yeah.
We have a
necessary.
pineapple and
How
an
I
orange
changed
slice.
that up.
Yeah.
I got some cherry gin.
Oh,
Some cherry gin, which is nice. Yeah.
wow.
And then I didn't get cherry liqueur because I couldn't find it. So I got this random ass Polish cherry wine
Oh my
that
god.
was in the liqueur section.
That's
So I
gross.
poured that in. No Cointreau or Benedictine. And yeah, everything else is there.
Okay.
Well, what is all
Oh,
in
and I
ours?
got some orange bitters.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So
Well, we used cherry bitters, grapefruit bitters, cranberry bitters.
yeah, we went crazy with the bitters, baby.
With the bitters.
yeah.
All right.
It was good. Yeah, we have everything in here except for the maraschino cherry and the fucking Benedictine.
Whatever it's called.
You guys remember
the
Dido?
Benedict something.
Yeah, the French thing. We left that out.
Yeah.
It's quite good. It does taste like
Yeah.
candy though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very, very sweet. So if there's any, diabetics listening to this,
Was
just be
Zach?
careful.
Zach,
Yes.
you're not allowed to drink
Specifically
this.
Zach Parsons.
Oh, one day we'll have him back on, and I
Well,
can't wait.
That was the drink.
Yeah,
That
thank
was
you.
the drink. I think it's time to get into this movie.
Yes,
I don't know how we're going to explain it. It
Oh,
is
I'm so
all
nervous.
over the damn place.
This is good.
But I nevertheless am excited. Adriana, how does this movie fucking begin?
Good Lord. Well, we have Johnny Depp narrating the movie,
hmm
and he kind of like rambles a lot. He's hard to follow along with. So he's driving along through the desert with, I guess, his attorney, although he doesn't act like an attorney at all. And they're basically on.
No, not at all.
No.
Why? Also,
Because-
what is Johnny Depp's like voice like in this movie? Because there's
Oh, like very sporadic and
does he have an accent or anything, or is he just
No.
His voice is no, well, like he's American, and his
Yeah.
voice is just basically drunk Jack Sparrow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
or
it's just
but
kind
American.
of monotone and quick.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's narrating the movie, speaking like crazy like that. And he's driving through the desert with apparently his
the
attorney.
opening line, basically the opening line is very, very famous, and people, there's tons of huge lines, but the opening line is Johnny Depp is just like narrating, but he says, we were somewhere on the edge of Barstow, or no, we were somewhere around Barstow on the edge of the desert.
Right.
That's when the drugs begin to take hold.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So then he goes on to kind of explain.
Hold on. This literally just starts in the middle of their trip, like their drug trip.
Pretty much.
What the-
Oh yeah, they're
like,
driving,
there's no
the whole
context about
movie
what
is a
they're
drug
doing?
trip. Alenka.
I know it is. I just
Okay.
thought maybe.
You're
Let
right,
me-
though. It
let
pretty
me
much
explain
starts
this.
off that way.
Yeah, let me explain off the
scared.
top that this movie like is an unreliable narrator movie,
Yeah.
meaning we don't know any of the context. We
No.
have to listen
Okay.
to these characters give context that aren't actually true,
Oh,
and then we just see
no.
events unfold, and we kind of get like, oh, this is what's going on.
And
Okay.
there's
In terms
also
of why
like
they're going to Vegas.
yeah.
Right.
There's also certain parts where Johnny Depp will be like you get the impression that he's saying something in his head. And then he'll say, "Did I just say that out loud?" And it turns out he's actually talking to somebody.
Oh my God.
It's like, yeah, it's super
Yeah.
all over the place.
Okay.
And a lot of the times when it's showing him and he's narrating, he's almost mouthing the narration as
Yes,
well. So
yes.
he's kind of like always talking in his head.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay.
It is weird.
I'm going to really try not to interrupt too
Mhm.
much then, because I feel like I'm just not going to get it. Okay. Continue,
Yeah.
Adriana.
Well, they're
Well,
on their
you're
way
right.
to Vegas, and I will start. Johnny Depp's character's name is Raoul Duke,
Yes,
That's a sick name.
it is.
and his attorney, played by Benicio del Toro,
Benicio.
his name is Dr. Gonzo.
That's
or Gonzo.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Gonzo
The
is what he's
clown.
referred to a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're driving through the desert. Johnny Depp is narrating what they're doing. And he explains, I guess they're on like an assignment, and Johnny Depp, or Raoul, is like a journalist, and they're supposed to cover this super famous, like really big dirt bike race, basically.
Okay.
So within like just a couple of minutes into the movie of them driving along, Johnny Depp starts seeing like bats flying all over the place, and
Oh my
he's like
God.
freaking out.
Oh yeah.
And then they drive along
He
for a
is. He's just
few
like,
more minutes.
and he's like waving his arms all over the place.
Yeah, like freaking out. So they keep driving for a little bit, and
He-
they see a hitchhiker who is a really weird Tobey Maguire. Like,
Oh,
really
I've
weird.
heard of
Very
this.
young Tobey Maguire.
I've heard. Does
Yeah.
he looks
Yeah,
like
yeah.
fucking Riff Raff. This is what I've heard.
Yeah,
right?
he's got the
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
the
he looks
bald,
like Riff
Raff.
the bald head, but with like hair around
A skullet.
his scalp, and it's like long and bleach blonde
What the
and
fuck?
sweaty. Like he's so
Ew,
bizarre.
he's
Yeah.
sweaty.
But
Yeah.
this is like
Really
only one or
weird
two times
Tobey
that you
Maguire.
see Tobey Maguire in the whole movie. Like it's a very, very
Okay.
small role, but weird. Like he's so weird. So
So-
yeah, they pick him
Mhm.
up. And Johnny Depp and his attorney both kind of have individual like freakouts, like drug related freakouts, and Tobey Maguire leaves eventually and just jumps out of the car.
What? Sorry, like literally as it's moving?
I think they pull over at one
No,
point
no.
and he just jumps out.
Yeah. They
Okay.
pull over because Dr. Gonzo is like having a heart attack almost, it seems like.
And, like,
so he needs his
screaming.
medicine, which I don't know what they sniff, but it's cocaine.
It's more
or it's something.
drugs.
It's
Oh
a-
my God.
yeah, it's more drugs he sniffs.
Yeah.
But Johnny Depp at some point goes into the trunk and he opens up a suitcase, and it's just a suitcase full of drugs.
I was just going
Just
to
every
point that
kinda,
out
like,
too.
I
And
guess
he like lists off all the
Acid,
stuff that's
LSD,
in there.
mescaline, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about mescaline and what it is?
I don't
Will,
really
can you
know
pull
what
up
it is.
Wikipedia, please?
It's peyote.
What is peyote?
Which
I
is
know
like
they do it
a-
in the desert. Is it from a cactus?
It's a hallucinogenic. Yeah, it's a hallucinogenic cactus.
I think you smoke it, yeah?
or snort it.
Is
I
that
don't
what
even know how to do
Charles
it. Yeah,
Manson,
yeah.
you know, because Family Guy made a reference. let's do peyote in the desert and kill a bunch of people in the Hollywood Hills.
Right.
Is that what Charles Manson, like, is that what?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I know.
Yes, that's what that's referencing.
Gotcha. No, I knew that, I watched fucking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Mm. And
I know the true story.
Another famous line that you might have seen memed, Alenka,
Yeah.
is actually when they do pull over to pick up the young Tobey Maguire. So Benicio del Toro pulls over, but Johnny Depp's like, "Don't pull over here. This is Bat Country."
Yeah.
I've not heard this. Like, you say these are famous lines.
Really?
No.
Well,
what
the
fuck
Bat
is
Country one is a big one.
Oh my God.
What? And he's saying
It's
that
a
because
big
he's
memed
seeing
one.
bats
Oh,
or
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
What a fucking weirdo.
And the bat scene I like
What?
because you don't actually see the bats, but they zoom in on Johnny Depp's sunglasses and you see bats flying in his sunglasses.
Oh.
And his eyes are like darting back and
Mhm.
forth, like, oh my God.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So
That's
when
smart.
I say that we're not sure what they're doing, like Adriana explained what they're doing, but that gets explained through flashbacks. But before
Yeah.
that, they tell Tobey Maguire, and it's very, again, convoluted and weird, but it sounds like they're going to murder a foreign dignitary. That's what
What?
Dr. Gonzo
Mhm.
says, basically.
What is
Yeah.
that? What that?
But then, well, just like a foreign national, like a political
They're not going to
visitor
do
or
that.
something.
They don't, but
No,
they
that's
do
the
mention
thing.
it at the beginning that that's what they're out to do. And then at some point, like they pull out a gun and they're waving it around, and that's when Tobey Maguire's like, "I'm out of here," and leaves. And
So
then
you're
later
telling
in the movie,
me
he comes up
Scarlett
again, but-
Maguire is the normal one in this scenario?
yeah,
Shut.
he doesn't look
up.
normal.
Yes. Riff
Does
Raff
not look
Spider-Man
normal.
is the one who's the normal one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is pre-Spider-Man too.
Oh, interesting.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, he's very young. He's very interesting looking.
Yeah, I
But,
think the movie's from '98.
No, but yeah. Like Raul, Johnny Depp explains what's going on in this kind of the flashback. And that's the flashback. He's like, we were sitting at the Flamingo, or we were sitting at the hotel, sipping on Singapore Slings
Right.
or the side of mezcal. So they're at this hotel. And again, as Adriana explained, the whole movie is so bright and colorful and weird.
Mhm.
Everyone's costumes are super bright. All the
Mhm.
colors are like over the top. And it's like, it's almost like dreamlike. Everything's like wacky and different
For sure.
proportioned in everything.
There's
and
a scene
it's
where
supposed to be
they go to
1971 BTW.
Oh,
too.
okay. Thank you.
There's a scene where they go
Thank
to
you.
like a circus style casino, which is like
Kill me.
you can't. Oh, it's hard to look at. It's so crazy. There's a lot of weirdness going on. in
Oh
that
yeah,
film.
we'll get there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So
they.
they're at this hotel like 24 hours before this moment. They get the assignment that he's supposed to cover the Mint 400 motorcycle race in Las Vegas, and they
Okay.
go and get supplies like the drugs, and then they also rent. Like he has this old beat up shitty car, so they go and rent this red convertible, and they fill it full of beers and other shit. And the rental guy is just like, "Oh, have you guys been drinking?" And he's like, "No, I haven't been drinking. We're responsible."
he says
adults."
something like, "You guys
Oh
are
my
going to take
God.
real good care of this car, right?" And then
Oh my
he like backs
God.
out, going like, "I think the car rental guy says, what did you just pull out of there at like 45 kilometers an hour or something like that?"
Yeah, basically.
Why did this rental guy even rent to them? Like, clearly, they're not responsible adults.
Well, yeah. I mean, Dr. Gonzo is pretty intimidating looking guy, so he's always
Yeah, he kind
intimidating
of is.
people.
Okay.
And then they also just drove off with the car. They basically stole the car. I mean, they rented it, but he stole it.
Okay.
I also noticed this time around watching it, when one of them is like freaking out and acting crazy, the other one tries to be more level-headed. So
Hmm.
there's times where Johnny Depp is the one freaking out and like weird behavior, and Gonzo is trying to be like, dude, relax. And then vice versa. And it goes back and forth a lot.
Interesting.
Mhm.
So,
Oh yeah, they're just the perfect drug duo. That's what you
Yeah.
need, someone to calm you down. You know,
when
when you're not calm.
not calm, exactly. Okay, great. So they stole a red convertible.
Yes, they take a red convertible. And that's
Yeah.
what they pick up Tobey Maguire in also.
Oh, okay. So this was this a flashback then?
Yes.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah. So now we flash forward to they're back in the car, and they're they're getting into Vegas basically.
Okay.
This is all like
Although,
within less than 30 minutes of the movie too, maybe 20
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Raul does just before they like the head checker runs away, but Raul takes a sheet of acid
A sheet?
and takes a little drop.
Oh,
of
like
acid.
something you put on your
Well,
tongue?
yeah, they're like little, the little squares. Yeah, like
I don't
take some acid.
know, Will. I don't do acid.
Well, come on. I feel like you gotta have seen a picture of it or something. I've never done acid. I don't know if I
thought
will
it
do
might be a
acid.
pill. I thought it was a pill. But I understand that you can put it on
It's
your
mostly
tongue.
it's like a
Yes.
dissolvable
Yes.
thing. Yeah,
It's never a pill form.
yeah, no. But
Oh.
they get to the hotel that they're
Okay.
supposed to check in. It's not. It's never. I don't know if it's never, but I just don't think it is. But
Okay. Well,
I wouldn't
fuck me.
know.
I don't know.
But they get to the hotel that they're supposed to check in to, and that's when the acid like is basically at its height for Johnny Depp, and he is all over the place in this hotel.
And that's where the lizards come in.
Okay. Lizards.
Yes.
So
Yeah, so he tries to check into the hotel and he can barely get the words out.
okay.
So he's trying to talk to the receptionist or the front desk lady, and the camera cuts to her and she takes like a deep breath in and her neck inflates like gills.
What?
And then it goes back to Johnny Depp and he's freaking out. And then slowly but surely, like one by one, every single person in the bar turns into like a reptile of some kind.
Okay, and do you mean like a human-sized reptile,
Yeah.
or okay?
Yeah. And then the
Yeah,
floor starts
like with
filling up
clothes
with
and just,
liquid.
like, reptile faces.
Yeah, but yeah, and
Oh
they're
my
still
God.
wearing
Like black
clothes.
oil.
Yeah.
Ew.
So he freaks out about that. And yeah, there's like some kind of liquid on the floor, and he says to Gonzo something about, quick, you have to get golf shoes if we're going to get out of here alive, or something like that.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah. So get some golf shoes.
Right.
What? Who wrote this script? And like, how do you even? Wait,
Well, it's all basically everything's based on Hunter S. Thompson's like
Experience.
book.
What
Like
a
a lot of the
sicko.
narration is all from the book. Yeah. It's literally his experiences on these drugs and what he remembers of it.
so he remembers golf shoes being prominent. That's good.
Well, he was just like, oh, it's like, we need a pair of golf shoes to get through this. And it's like, and he tells Gonzo, like, better buy those fucking golf shoes. But
So-
he's all freaking out. And then finally, sorry, what?
Even when he's freaking out, is he still kind of monotone and quick?
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically the whole time. He's never too like, "Oh," he's more or less like, it's funny. His voice is very monotone, but he is
His eyes
doing
widen.
the Johnny Depp, like, yeah, well, he's doing the Johnny Depp, like, Jack Sparrow
Mannerisms.
moving about. Like, he's always like,
Okay.
Kind of
he's always
bouncing
like
about.
ducking and moving and slinky. Yeah.
Slinky.
With
That's
his
a good
fucking
word
skinny
for
ass
him.
limbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's slinky.
He's slinky boy.
Slinky Depp.
Ew. Into the depth. Gross.
Slinky is an
Into
excellent
the
word for
depths
it.
of Depp.
Ew.
Yeah.
Okay. So he sees the Lizzies.
He sees the Lizzies.
Yeah.
And then that whole scene like eventually comes to an end, and
Like,
he
does-
snaps out of it.
Okay.
Because Gonzo's like, stop it.
Well, no, he doesn't stop on it
Gonzo's
to-
like, stop.
He's still he's still in the throes of the acid trip. They get to the room, which is like this kind of hotel suite.
Right.
And the other thing we should mention is the very top of this movie. The actual start of this movie is real news footage of like the Vietnam War and like Vietnam War protests.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true.
Because the deeper meaning behind the book is Hunter S. Thompson's kind of reaction to like the failure of like the hippie generation and the Vietnam War and all that. So there's a lot of in-depth
Mhm.
things you can go into. I'm not going to because I don't really know. So, but just
Fair.
to say, there's a lot of Vietnam War kind of like imagery. So we're in the hotel room and he's still tripping, and the hotel TV is playing like clips from the Vietnam War, even
Mhm.
though it's 71. So it's like pretty much done, almost done at this point. I guess it'd still be happening. But he like is like freaking out thinking bombs are dropping, and what's
Oh,
playing on the
good.
TV is also projected on the floor and on the roof, and he's all freaking out.
Interesting.
And he's like ducking up and down behind a bar, and Gonzo's trying to calm him down. And then I guess they're supposed to have a photographer that comes with them to this bike race event.
Right.
So the photographer knocks on the
Mhm.
door and lets himself in to say, "Hey, I'm your photographer."
Right.
So he goes up to Johnny Depp, who's like being weird behind the bar.
Right.
And as Johnny Depp
Yeah.
is watching what's on TV, the photographer becomes like a military soldier.
Oh,
And he starts like
my
yelling at him as
God.
if he's in war.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
he's not even saying he's not saying war things. He's talking about like, man, you should have been here earlier. All the bikes that
Yeah.
came in, like
Yeah.
Ducatis, Maseratis. Like he just keeps listing off bike brands, but then he turns into soldier and starts like barking at him. Like,
Yeah.
it was,
Just
like, the
barking
same, like,
types
dirt
of bike
brands.
terms. Yeah. That's hilarious.
And then I kind of got like confused at the end of that scene because like Johnny Depp or Gonzo like don't even indicate really that they want him to leave, but the photographer notices he's being kind of weird and he's like, "I'm gonna let myself out," and he just leaves.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like this very obvious like these guys are tripping balls. I'm
Yeah.
gonna leave because like
Yeah.
Gonzo is just like staring, and I think
Right.
Gonzo answers the door with a gun
Yeah.
Oh,
And, like,
good.
Yeah.
and then kind of hides it from him once he lets him in. But
What the
because he's
fuck?
paranoid, again, Gonzo's always
Yeah.
the one saying that they're there to kill someone or that someone's going to
Mhm.
kill him or someone's
Okay.
going to. Fun fact though, just to give you an insight on this kind of guy, Gonzo's character is based on Hunter S. Thompson's real life attorney,
Oh no.
his friend and his attorney who disappeared in late 70s in Mexico, just like Never found
Oh.
again.
I knew it was based
The
on his
actual
actual
guy, yeah.
attorney, but I didn't know he went missing in real life.
Drug induced
his real
missing.
life name is Oscar Acosta. So he's he's like a Spanish man. So is like Benicio del Toro, and
Mhm.
they make a lot of race references in this movie. Like
Yeah, they do.
Johnny Depp's is always like, despite the handicap of his race or something like that.
I was
like,
just gonna say in the
he's
opening
always making
scene,
racial-
he says something about his race being a handicap or like impaired or something. He says something along those lines.
Weird.
Mhm.
yeah, because he calls him his Samoan friend. He's a Samoan. But I
Okay.
don't even know if he actually is Samoan
Yeah.
in the movie.
Or if it's just like
another
a-
one of these things where it's like he's calling him Samoan even though he's not. I don't know. It's never really like a real
It's never made clear.
thing.
It seems
And it's
like
not that important to
All
the
I know
movie,
is
I
that
don't think.
Benicio del Toro is not Samoan.
right.
Right.
No, but it's just kind of like this guy's all paranoid, and then the real life guy actually went missing. So you're kind of like,
Oh,
it's an interesting
man,
character.
that's so juicy. This is fucking
Yeah.
weird. Okay, but okay. So I am. Does it clarify later if like I know that like they can't? Is this guy just vastly irresponsible to like just be tripping while he is technically on the job, or did he actually come to Vegas to have a trip and then get this job?
To be honest, I still don't know. I've seen it so many times, and there's parts in the movie where Johnny Depp questions if he's actually on an assignment or not.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think, Will? Because in my opinion, I've never actually really
Well-
decided.
I think he definitely is on assignment. I think mostly,
some
or
kind.
maybe he's not. That's true. Like
That's what I'm
the
saying.
thing
Like
about the movie is you're never. Yeah, well, Hunter S. Thompson was such a like weird individual. Part of it was because he wrote himself as very weird, and then I think eventually acted that way in public.
oh,
like,
okay.
In general, like
Right.
so Johnny Depp plays it that way because you never actually know when Johnny Depp is not high or if he's high or if he's been high this whole time.
That's a
Mhm.
good point,
Because-
too. Because there are times where
Yeah,
he's
because we cut.
more calm or not like freaking out as much, but
Mhm.
he's still always odd.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but his thoughts and his movements are always so weird, even when he
Mhm.
is in those moments. So you're like, is he still high? Because the next day, so it is the next day, and they're at the desert race. They get to like where it's like probably a few miles out from where the hotel is, and there's like a press tent. It's so funny because they make it like when they get to this race is the first time I actually like clocked that that's what they were doing. I don't even think I knew what was going on. I still
Okay.
thought they're like
It is
killing
hard
someone.
to know
was
what
like, why is
they're
there a
initially there
photographer?
for until you
And
get
you're like,
to
oh, a
the
photographer.
bike
Yeah.
part.
Very good. So
Exactly,
they're
yeah.
at this actual like race now. And the photographer's
Yeah,
there
and
again.
he's like always drinking a beer too. Yeah, he's drinking a beer there.
What the fuck?
Which is important.
Yeah,
well,
so the
maybe
race
not
starts.
important, but funny to keep in mind because, well, I'll let Will describe the race first.
Well, yeah, the race, I think, so the race I assume is kind of like an endurance type race. So it's like, one of those races where they launch off and it's like, they're racing for like 400 miles. Yeah, that's why it's called the Mint 400.
Right.
They're like, it's a long endurance race. So there's sections of motorbikes. I think like different, almost like in boxing, there's like lightweight, heavyweight. There's different sections of motorbikes that, there's round 1, round 2, round 3, and they just keep launching them. And then the race starts, and then Johnny Depp is kind of at the press tent, like drinking a beer. And then this like Jeep like pulls up like real quick and brakes, and he's like, "Hey, come on out!" And it's his photographer.
Right.
Like, and he's like, "Yeah, we got to go out there and catch photos." And they're driving through all this like dust and storm. It's like,
that's
so
kind of
dusty
cool.
you can't
there's
see.
a dust storm.
That's
Yeah.
cool. And
Yeah, yeah.
is that supposed to be like
And
a
the
trip,
guy-
or do we kind of think that's actually how it is?
If he is
No, that's
actually
real,
on an
because the
assignment,
photographer's there, and
then
he's
yeah, I
like,
think that's real.
yeah.
But the dust,
Yeah,
like
and
the
like Johnny Depp.
like visually
Oh,
how
yeah,
like
I
them
think,
drive
it's
through the
it's
Jeep.
Oh, well, yeah, that's real. It's not like a trip, and it's just kind of like whatever special
That's
effects
cool.
they did for that in whatever it was, this movie, 1998.
Getting Mad Max vibes.
It's like, yeah, a little bit, but it's all dusty, and then basically Johnny Depp is like angry with his photographer and just fires him on the spot. I can't remember why.
I can't remember why either. What does he say? I can't remember what the photographer says exactly, but yeah, Johnny Depp fires him on the spot.
Perfect.
And then
Yeah, he
I
just
like
kind of goes like, "You're fired."
Yeah, randomly. And then I like the beer because at the beginning of this race, he's drinking his beer. And then he brings the beer with
In
him
a
onto
glass.
the Jeep.
In a
And
glass?
Yeah, it's in like a frosty mug.
That's hilarious.
So he brings it
How
with
does
him
he have
on
that?
the Jeep. And then at the end of the scene, when he fires the photographer, he goes to take a sip of the beer and it's mud because there's so much dust.
Oh,
so he
that's
like
funny.
pours it out and it's like slime.
Ew.
Yeah, it's a good moment. And then I guess he just walks back to base camp. There's like
Yeah.
a bar at the
What?
base camp with the press tent and stuff. Like it's a big event, this thing.
But
Okay.
also
Um,
important during the scene when he's on the Jeep with the photographer. Like you said earlier, that part is not supposed to be a trip, but it becomes a trip because they're driving along and it's so dusty. And another Jeep comes up with a whole bunch of guys on it. And they have like machine guns.
Oh my god.
And like, again, they're supposed to be, in Johnny Depp's mind, like military personnel, but they also have like a deer on the front of the Jeep. So they're obviously hunters.
Okay.
But for him in his mind, it's
these
like,
guys are real, but he's tripping a little bit about
Yeah.
their intentions, I think.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah. Great. So he's walking back.
Yeah.
Like he fired the guy and hopped off the Jeep and was like, "Bye."
I don't think
I
they
guess so.
actually
He's
show
like in the
you
middle of the
like
desert.
yeah, he gets
Okay.
off the Jeep
No,
and then they
but-
drive off and he's in the middle of the desert and then the next scene just starts. Like you don't actually see him going back to the hotel.
Oh yeah. They kind of like, the next scene is them leaving the hotel in the evening in the
Yeah.
car. And they
Okay.
another drug that they do, so they consume more mescaline, they drop some more or eat more cactus. I'm not even sure how they
Eat
get
more
it into their
cactus.
bodies, but that's again, I don't know how they
Take a slice like aloe vera. No, me neither.
but they also huff ether, like
What is
ethanol. like gasoline almost. Like it's
Is that what it
What?
is? Because all this time I thought it was some kind of drink.
Oh.
no,
I guess
it's
I'm
it's
wrong.
it's like basically like pure alcohol and ethanol. They soak it in a rag and,
And you
huff
huff
it.
it.
What the fuck is wrong with these
And they-
assholes?
And it's called ether. So they huff ether. And they this is when the circus scene starts.
Yeah. So they
Do you think this hotel's actually
Well,
circus
actually,
themed,
just
or
before-
they?
I think it's supposed to actually be circus themed, but it's
Okay.
just so exaggerated because they're high.
Right.
I will say just before the circus scene, they try to like break into a Debbie Reynolds show.
Oh
like, in
yeah,
the
I
theater.
forgot
They're
all
like,
about
again,
that.
they're all high on ether, and Debbie
Oh.
Reynolds has a show, and he's
My
like,
God.
and Gonzo is all like, we drove all the way to California for this show. or from
Yeah,
LA for
like,
this show.
my
They
Yeah.
get there and the
God.
show has
He-
already started, or it's about to start, and the doorman like won't let them in.
Yeah.
So he's like, "We drove all the way here," and he convinces them to let them
What
in.
the fuck?
And so they get in, and I guess the doorman says, like, "All right, like you can come in for free if you stand at the back and don't make any noise
Come
and you
on.
don't smoke." So
Come
anyway, they
on.
go in, and then the camera's on the doorman for like maybe 10 seconds or so, and then Johnny Depp and Gonzo like come bursting out of the entrance doors with like guys dragging them out like they got kicked out already.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Then they
That
go to
makes
the
sense.
circus.
Wow.
Yeah, then they get to the circus, which you haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street, have you?
I think maybe pieces of it. I want to
Yeah?
say maybe pieces of it, but I don't know.
Have you seen the scene where they take the Quaaludes?
No, let me tell
Leo
you,
and
other
Jonah
people
Hill?
have watched it while I have been around. That's what I can say.
Okay. Adriana, have you seen that movie?
What's a
I have
Quaalude?
seen it, but
Is
I
that
only
a
watched it
Kanye
once, and it was when
lyric?
it first came out a long time ago.
A Quaalude is a type of pill, and it was very popular in the 80s, and it's the drug of choice in the movie The Wolf of Wall Street.
Why?
But listeners, if they've seen it, they'll know there's a scene where Jonah Hill and Leonardo DiCaprio's character take way too much Quaaludes.
What it do?
Because they take old Quaaludes and they think they're expired, but it turns out they're not expired. But old Quaaludes take longer to digest, so they take way too many, and suddenly it hits them, and it's like they can't even move, and they're like dragging themselves on the ground. This is sort of what Johnny Depp and
Yes.
Benicio del Toro are doing, but way before
When-
that movie.
Yeah,
They're trying
like
to get into the circus and they can barely move their legs.
that is
So
such
what are
a
Quaaludes?
good comparison.
Basically.
I
They're
don't
like
really know
pills.
what they
They're
are.
like a prescribed medication.
What does it do? A muscle like
It's
drugs,
drugs.
I guess.
It's drugs.
It's drug. Will, you said we were going to talk about drugs, not just the names.
I don't know. Okay, I'm on drugs.com.
Are you actually?
This is not a lie. There's a drugs.com.
No,
Yes.
there's not. I thought that was a joke.
And no, this is a real drugs.com. Quaaludes
I'm going there
are a
after this.
synthetic barbiturate.
What's that? What's a
like Central
barbiturate?
nervous system depressant.
Central nervous
depressant.
system.
Alcohol is a barbiturate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
get it.
like cocaine is supposed to like get you high and like super like hyped up.
Yeah.
This is like mellows you out super low, but this is
Right.
like, yeah.
Okay.
They barely even exist anymore. You can't
How do
even
they
find
not
them.
die after this weekend?
I don't know. Good question.
Because they're very much used to this.
How do people function like this?
If you want to know why people don't die, you should read Anthony Kiedis's autobiography, Scar Tissue. He's the lead singer of Red
I
Hot
know.
Chili Peppers.
I know.
He did a mixture of cocaine and heroin when he was 10 years old.
Oh my god.
Excuse me.
Yes. He's speedballed.
He's a crazy
So,
guy.
The circus scene,
Yeah.
on that note,
Yes.
Thank you.
excellent
Circus scene.
comparison to Wolf of Wall Street, because that scene starts off with them approaching, like, you know, when you go to Canada's Wonderland and they have like the spinny thing you have to walk through, whatever those are called.
Well, that's such
Yes,
a
yeah.
specific reference.
Yeah, like as if you've never gone. Like you can go
Well,
through
for
them
some
at the
of our-
grocery store. By the way,
One of the spinny things you have to walk
For
through.
some
They're going up
for
to
some
those.
of our listeners outside of Canada's
Right.
Wonderland is basically the only
It's a theme park.
in Canada. It
Yeah,
feels
like the
Kind of
only,
maybe
is.
the West Edmonton Mall.
which I've never been to.
That's true.
It really is the only
It's
theme
Canadian
park.
Six Flags.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it is. So they're approaching the turn thing when you walk into an amusement park, and Johnny
Turnstile.
Depp is narrating this, and he's describing like the effects of this ether stuff or ether.
Yeah.
And he does say like at one point, you're gonna like slur your speech and not be able to move your body, like your brain won't connect with your spinal cord.
Oh.
And then he says something about how the worst part is you can see yourself behaving this way, but you can't do anything about it. So you're completely like aware, but you can't function. And Slinky is such a good word for him, because
Mhm.
Johnny Depp and Gonzo are like trying to walk up to the entrance.
Oh my
And like
God.
at first they're sort of like walking slowly, and then their knees kind of start to bend, and then they start like falling to
Come
the ground, and then
on.
eventually they're crawling towards the entrance.
Come on.
Yeah.
This like
Yeah.
comes off to me as like so like Jim Carrey slapsticky. Like, is this movie?
Oh, it is. Yeah,
Okay.
his movements are very Jim Carrey. Like his legs,
Yeah.
his knees are always buckling in it every time
Yeah.
he's moving.
That's
He
true.
Okay.
He almost like waddles everywhere.
And
like
same
kind of
same
like
with his
sneaking around.
shoulders.
It's-
Like his shoulders are always kind of swinging.
Okay, great.
yeah. Which is, again, it's like a very clear, like it's a directorial choice because everything's kind of heightened and cartoonish because
Yes.
everything is a trip in this movie.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So they get into
And
the
like
circus.
the guys at the entrance just basically push them in. Like they're
Exactly.
like, yeah, you can go
You're
in
like,
even
come
though
on
you're
in.
Fucked.
Like they get in because the guys just are like, all right, that's enough. And they shuffle them through basically.
Yeah.
And then
And
if I'm not mistaken,
so
Gonzo's the one
is
who
like
freaks
it's
out.
yeah, well, it's like a circus casino. So I want to paint this picture. Everything's like circus themed. There's like games, like, you know, classic, like, you know, fair games where you like
Carnival
throw
games.
you know, baseball out of
Mhm.
bottles, carnival games. But also there's like regular casino games. There's like a bar on a carousel, like a spinning bar.
That'd be fucking
And-
sick.
But
It
above
is.
everything is big netting, and his acrobats are above them doing
Cool.
acrobatic, like,
I want to go there.
performances.
Mhm.
I bet that's a real place in Las
I don't know
Vegas.
if it's real.
It must be.
It probably is. That'd be fun.
It must be.
And I think I
Probably.
couldn't tell what it was, but like I was just watching it before I came here. And on this net, I think there's a dog at one point, or there's
Oh
an
my
animal
God.
of some kind in the net at one point.
Yeah, they like launch a dog in
Aw.
the acrobat show.
Yeah.
Aw. Puppies don't have good balance.
I know.
The dog's okay.
I think it's a dog. Like I couldn't tell, but I think it's a dog. Hard to tell through the netting.
Their backs aren't flexible like cats.
Nah.
It's a furry animal with teeth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But
this,
Gonzo freaks the fuck out in this casino.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the carousel bar is what does it. Like they're
Okay.
sitting on the carousel, and there's like the pretty like horses and everything. It's
Yeah.
a carousel. And yeah, he starts freaking out, and I can't remember where it is he wants to go, but he wants to leave for some reason,
He's freaking out.
Yeah, but he can't move. Like
but he can't move.
He's like,
Mm.
so you know how the carousel, like the inner goes one way and then the outer goes the other way?
Yeah, yeah.
so he's
Like,
having
that's how this
difficulties
bar
with-
is.
Oh.
So they're sitting up on the inner, and then they're trying to get off, and he's like, can't. And then he's trying to get off the full thing, but he just keeps holding on to the pole. Johnny Depp has his senses about him at this point, so he's
Yeah.
trying to
Okay.
help him. So he like
Oh
jumps
my
on
God.
and then just fucking kicks him off.
Oh
he's, like,
my
trying to get
God.
And then Gonzo, I don't know if he actually says like what happened, but he says something and he's confused, and like Johnny Depp's like, "You fell down."
What the
Like that's what
fuck?
happened. Like you fell.
fell down.
What happened? What? Okay.
So
We
where
have a
do
couple
they
of
Do we
fun
have a
cameos,
conflict
fun
yet in this
cameos.
movie?
have a what?
Do we have a conflict yet?
No, that's the thing.
Conflict
that's
is the
thing.
movie.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
is that
the conflict is they are
It's just-
high and
yeah.
they need to not
The
be
whole
high,
movie is the conflict.
but they keep getting high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's
There's a few-
that's the conflict.
Oh. There's a
Uh,
few cameos in this scene. One is they also cast like quite a few different little people, and there's a
Yeah,
lot of
Cameron
little people
Diaz
jokes.
makes an appearance.
Well, okay. Well, Cameron Diaz isn't a
she's in
little
it.
person.
But no, I'm sorry. Vern Troyer
oh
makes an
yeah.
appearance in the casino scene. He's Mini Me in the
Yep.
Austin Powers movie.
He's the
right.
And then
Oh, yeah.
also Penn Jillette makes a scene as like a carnival guy.
Who's
That's
that?
like Penn and Teller, the magicians. You've heard of Penn and Teller, like the magicians. The one guy's
No.
silent, and the other guy's real big.
no.
okay.
Oh,
Well,
I know
he's like
who
a
they
Las
are, but I
Vegas
didn't
staple,
realize
and he's
that.
quite famous.
Well
Yeah,
then.
he's like the guy who's trying to sell him on this game, like when they first walk in, and then
I
he kind of
learned
pushes them
something
aside.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not at the Cameron Diaz scene yet, but we will.
No.
We'll
Oh,
get there.
Cameron Diaz. Interesting.
No, not yet. but
She'd
she
be
makes
quite
an
young,
appearance.
yeah?
Yeah.
We'll get in there.
She looks cute.
But she was well known at this
She
point
looks
because
cute.
of she was already in The Mask, and I think there's something about Mary.
Okay.
So she was well known. Yeah.
She's definitely young though.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they leave the casino high on ether,
Mhm.
and they go back to the hotel room, and then Raul, like Johnny Depp, leaves the room and just like tries to win money in the casino.
He
This
goes
is one
back
of
to
those
the
moments where
casino.
you're like, how high is he right now? Is he high? Not the
Yeah.
casino. Sorry. There's like casino games in their hotel. Like every
Okay.
hotel has
Yeah,
casino
yeah,
games
yeah.
in the bottom, right?
Yeah,
So,
right.
yeah. So he's like goes down to the
Smoky.
hotel and leaves Gonzo, in the room by himself. But when he comes back, like later in
God.
the evening, Gonzo is like the whole room. The room was already pretty fucking trash, but now
It's
room
even
is
worse now.
completely just crazy trash.
It's just you'd have to watch the movie to understand how trashed it is. Like there's like
Okay.
I think at some point there's 3 or 4 like room service carts like just sitting around in the room with
What?
old food
Yeah.
on it.
just like rotting food. Yeah.
Yeah. it's
How? How could it be rotting?
They don't know how long this drug trip has actually been, because
And
the thing is, you
speaking
don't even
of-
know how long they're there for.
Yeah, that's
Interesting.
true. I'm under the impression it's a weekend, but you don't actually really know.
Right.
But speaking
No,
of
you
the
don't
food
really know.
and the room service, the first time they order the room service, the guy comes in with the tray and he's like, all right, we got 4 chicken parms, 4 cocktail shrimps, X number of this, X number of that. Like they order a feast.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's like
funny.
2 club sandwiches.
Yeah.
Another 2 club sandwiches.
Another 2
Like,
club-
he's,
yeah,
like,
you're
counting
right.
it out.
It's just the fucking 2 of them.
But now this is where Alenka, you had some weird details. I was like, that's an interesting detail. So Johnny Depp gets back to the room. It's trashed, and he hears music coming from the bathroom. He comes in, and Gonzo's fully clothed in the dirtiest fucking bathtub, just full of beer
Well,
and booze and dirt
He's
and everything.
almost fully clothed. So he's wearing like a tie and
Oh,
a dress shirt and a jacket and then only underwear.
Yep.
And he's in the
Perfect.
bathtub with
Just
like
underwear,
floating beer cans in it. Like the
What?
water's dirty. It's gross. And
Yeah.
I think
How does
it's
that
White
fucking
Rabbit
happen?
by who does White Rabbit?
Yeah, he's listening to White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane.
That's it.
Actually, before Johnny Depp goes down to the casino, they get to the hotel room. First, the key doesn't work, so he like kicks the door in, basically.
Oh right.
What the
like Gonzo does.
And then
And-
correct me if I'm wrong, but do they go into the wrong room?
Come on.
No,
I
they
think it's
try
the
to get
wrong
into one of the
room.
rooms. No, they go to the right room, but for some reason he has like the photographer's key or something. He has something
Right,
with the
okay.
photographers, and and so they flash back because Gonzo's all mad at the photographer
Right.
because he thinks the photographer stole his girl.
Right.
Like he talks as if
Which is
his
Cameron
girl
Diaz
is his
though.
wife.
Okay.
it's
The
Cameron
girl he's
Diaz.
talking about, is Cameron Diaz. We didn't get to
Yeah.
And is it
that part
actually
yet.
Yeah,
his
so they-
wife?
Well,
No.
no, they flash back to basically. So when they leave the desert, it cuts right to them leaving the hotel in the evening. So they flash back to when they actually got back from the desert. In the
Right.
hotel, they walk into the
Right.
elevator, and Johnny Depp and Dr. Gonzo walk into the elevator, and the photographer's there. This other photographer, as well, just like a fellow photographer, is there, and then this woman, I think another journalist, Cameron
Right.
Diaz, is in there, and the photographer's kind of like talking to her and flirting with her, and they
Okay.
like walk in again. They're tripping. They're always tripping, but like
Right.
Gonzo and Raul are just staring forward, and Cameron Diaz kind of makes a comment to Gonzo like, "Oh, you must be a writer," because he's wearing this tight shirt, and he's got like a
He's
mustache
got like a
and weird
smoke
hair.
in his mouth, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he just looks odd. So Cameron Diaz thinks he's like one of the motorcycle riders.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's like super tripping or high or something. So he turns around. I don't even know what he says to her. He's just kind of like,
Neither do I. Like this part is so
Yeah.
weird because she says, "Oh, you must be a writer," and then he turns around and responds to her, but he goes from like just a simple response to like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like he gets really weird.
Oh,
He creeps everybody out in the elevator eventually.
sweet.
Yeah, it's basically because he lies. Like he says, no, me and him work for blank. Like it's a actual lie whether he says.
Yeah.
And the one dude is like, bullshit. And then he like pulls a knife on the guy. And then the photographer is like, oh no, I know these guys. They're okay. And then he goes over to the photographer and like threatens him with the knife in the middle of the elevator.
Oh my God.
So
and then the elevator stops on a floor and it goes ding and the doors open.
Oh no.
And there's like a nice couple or like maybe two people waiting for the elevator.
Mhm.
So
Like
the
an old
camera
couple,
like,
yeah.
the camera moves to the couple who are just like waiting for the elevator. And then the camera goes to the elevator and everyone's like frozen in place. And Johnny Depp's just like staring at them being like, oh my God. And then the three other people look all freaked out. And then Gonzo's just like standing in the middle of the elevator, like with his head turned to the couple with like a knife raised in the air.
Oh my God.
And nobody says anything. And then the elevator doors close.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is so like cartoonish.
Yeah, kind of. It sort of is.
I want to watch this.
Especially
So-
when like the elevator doors open and then close. Like that part
Yeah.
is definitely a bit cartoonish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So skip back ahead. They're
Good God.
they're in the hotel room. Gonzo's in the tub, dirty ass tub,
Right.
Right.
with underwear and top, and he's listening to White Rabbit, and he's got the radio
By Jefferson
on like a stool
Airplane.
right beside by Jefferson
His what?
Airplane. He's got the radio on a stool, like it's like a cassette player, sort of thing.
It's like an old
on a
school and it's
stool,
plugged
like
into
right
the wall.
beside him in the tub.
Oh no.
And Johnny Depp is like, oh, you gotta be careful with this. He like pulls it away and puts it, and like Gonzo is like threatening him with the knife, and he's like tripping. He's like, I need a
Or like
rising
he
song.
pulls
Like,
a knife out of the bathtub water. And it's like
fuck?
he's like, better not make me use this, man.
Oh my God.
he's like gonna threaten him, and Johnny Depp like it's a shower curtain pull and is like defending himself with that.
Mhm.
But yeah, so Gonzo's like, I need a rising song, man. I need like he likes the rising song of White Rabbit because that whole
Yeah.
song just rises until the
Yeah.
end. So and then he basically instructs Johnny Depp. He's like, I want you to throw the radio in the tub with me when it gets to the height when she's singing about the dormouse.
my
or something.
God.
Like at the
it's
peak of the song.
Yeah.
So then
He wants
Johnny Depp
to
is
throw
like,
the radio
no.
into the water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously he's like, I'm not going to do that. Since Gonzo's freaking out so much, Johnny Depp is like, all right, I'll do it. So he's like, close your eyes, buddy. Like, just close your eyes. And then 10, 9, and he starts like counting down.
Yeah.
And Gonzo has his eyes closed. And then the height of the song
gets to
comes,
that
and
height.
instead of
Yeah.
it gets to the part Gonzo wants, and then instead of Johnny Depp throwing the radio in the tub, he throws a grapefruit at his head, which pisses him off,
Yeah.
and they get into like a big kerfuffle. And Johnny
Weird.
Depp has to like talk him back down and like stop being violent, and then he locks him in the
Stop
bathroom.
being violent. What the fuck?
Oh yeah. It's crazy.
I love when he throws the grapefruit at his face.
That's good.
It's a good
That
one.
guy's a good friend.
Yeah.
That guy is a very good
Yeah.
friend.
So yeah, he gets locked in the
So-
bathroom.
Mhm. And like
Or-
basically Johnny Depp is the whole time he's like, I just need some fucking rest, man. Like he needs like 2 hours
To
sleep.
sleep?
Like he needs sleep
Yeah.
before
Mhm.
because he's got.
Well, they probably haven't fucking slept in
the
like
next day.
days, honestly.
Yeah. And then there is a scene where it's like a flashback to 1965 to like a young Raoul in like a club. And it's like not the first time he got high, but he's like, I think the first time he got high on LSD or something.
Yeah, he's
But
describing his
it's
first
kinda a little
LSD
scene.
experience.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is a
And,
little scene.
he-
It's like kind of not part of like their situation. It's just like, oh, on a side note, here's my
Here's
first
the
experience
first time
with
I ever did LSD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like it's funny. He's in the bathroom and he does like the LSD, like half of it, but the other half spills on his arm.
mhm.
And we have another cameo. We actually have two cameos. One of the cameos is he's walking through the club and he like looks like his younger self looks at like this table and his older self is sitting there. And that
Mhm.
cameo,
right.
that's actually Hunter S. Thompson,
Is it?
the author of the novel. Yeah,
That's so
yeah.
cool. I didn't know that.
The old dude with the same hat and everything. Because that's what he
Hmm.
wore a lot. Hunter S. Thompson
What a
basically
prick.
looked like Johnny Depp does in this
Huh.
movie all his life.
I did not know that.
And the second cameo is he does the LSD, half the LSD, the other half like spills on his arm. This is like, it's acid. It's like it's a powder version of whatever
Right.
he's doing. But
Yeah.
it's on his arm. And then there's a band playing in this club, and the bass player is Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That's
And
sweet.
So
It is.
everything's in slow motion. He comes in, he's like, "What's the matter, man?"
That's
Yeah.
what I was going to
Yeah.
say. Like, it's important to
"All
remember in
white
this
stuff
part.
on my sleeve.
Yo,
Yo,
he's
is
like,
this
I've
Hot
got this LSD.
Is this what
but
Hot
I
Rod
need
makes
a
fun
place
of?
to cook it. Like, it's
This is
I mean,
totally.
maybe.
You guys
I
know
don't
that
know.
scene in Hot Rod
where
where
he goes,
like
I got this
he's got
acid,
this
but I
acid.
Oh, yeah.
can't do it.
and he's like,
well, I'll do it.
That's probably what they're
I mean, they might
ripping
have drawn
off. Yeah,
inspiration from this. Yeah.
Yeah, they could
Yeah.
have, yeah.
they must have, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that whole
Yeah.
scene is like in
The door
slow
opened,
motion,
the
and they
bathroom-
talk in
yeah.
slow motion.
Yeah. And the bathroom door opens, and this like young like business suit looking guy just like walks in on basically Johnny Depp standing there like getting high, and Flea as the
Like licking
weird
his
hippie
arm.
dude is licking his arm. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then he makes some comment about like, so it shows like the business guy leave the bathroom and go sit at the bar and have a drink, but Johnny Depp is narrating saying like, this guy must be scarred for life. I can't remember exactly what he says,
Yeah.
but he goes on about like, wow, this guy will never get that picture out of his mind and stuff like that. And it's like, I
Probably
guess.
not. That'd be pretty fucking
Yeah,
traumatic walking in and seeing that.
Yeah. He basically says like, I ruined his life or something. Like it's really it's really interesting.
Hmm.
Again,
The odd
like I said,
awareness
this-
of himself as he's a fucking mess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
oh yeah. So much happens in this movie.
So much.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Alenka, do you like movie podcasts?
Oh yeah, I fucking love this shit.
You know why she loves it so much? Because she does a movie podcast. You know who else does a movie podcast?
Oh my god, who will?
Best buds, Alessandra and Alex. They do a movie podcast called Shh, I'm Watching a Movie. This
Love it.
is a really hilarious podcast on the premier Toronto podcast network, the Sonar Network. They watch each other's favorite movies. And guess what?
Oh.
One of them has not seen that movie.
That's like us.
Yeah, that's what we love about it. They have guests from the comedy community. They watch romantic comedies. They watch action movies, thrillers, dramas, all kinds of movies. And they've already done a couple movies that we've done. So
Shut up.
if you love our podcast, we know you're going to love their podcast. In fact, their very first episode is Titanic.
We did
which
that.
We have done as well. Yeah. So we encourage you to go on over to the Sonar Network. That's thesonarnetwork.com. Check out Shh, I'm Watching a Movie, and check out all the other great podcasts over there.
You guys are gonna fucking love it. Where the fuck were we?
We were talking about Gonzo in the bathtub.
Were we there still?
Yeah. And we just finished off Raoul's flashback to when he first did LSD.
Oh yes,
Yes.
that's
yeah.
right. With Flea.
So now
LSD
So now
with
it's the
Flea.
next morning. Yes. Now it's the next morning. And this is what's crazy. He like wakes up and somehow the room is even more fucking trashed.
Yeah.
What? Is what's his nuts still in the bath?
No.
Come
No,
on.
He's gone.
I'm pretty
Totally
sure
gone.
At this point, Johnny Depp wakes up. It's the next morning. The hotel room is even worse. And I think Gonzo is gone completely at this point, right? Or is that coming up
What?
later?
Yeah, he like left. He's not gone completely for the rest of the movie, but he's gone
No, but he's left
Like-
the hotel.
somewhere. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
left the hotel. We don't know where he left.
Yeah, we
Okay.
don't know.
We just know
Yeah.
that the place is even more trashed.
Oh yeah. And there's so many fucking room service trays, but then on the door, like beside the door, are all the room service bills, and there is like
they're like
60
plastered
to
all over
100.
And
Is it like that they haven't paid it? Is that the idea?
Yeah. And then Johnny Depp says, they've been charging us $36 an hour for 48 hours straight. And there's like a billion bills.
He's like, oh yeah. Basically, Johnny Depp is like surmising in his monotone voice, and he's just like, from the looks of it, we had averaged about a $36 bill every hour for 48 hours straight.
Oh my god,
thousands.
Ew, that's insane.
Yeah.
And then later on, like in one of the scenes coming up, he does mention like, I have an absolutely gigantic hotel bill. But anyway, so the bills are all over the wall. And then go on, Will.
Oh yeah, he books it out of there. He like gets his car and he fills the car though. He's got every single piece of the room service that like they ordered, like in the back of the car. He's got all the hotel soaps. He's got everything in the back of the car. Just like built up. At this point, the hoods on the car, like the the roof of the car is put up.
Okay.
Of the convertible. And he's like driving away, and then like the manager of the hotel like stops him.
How?
And
while he's driving?
Like he's got
sort of,
no,
like
just before he's about to like take off, like
he's trying to drive away, and it's a convertible. So the hotel guy keeps leaning over the side of the door, being like Johnny Depp will try to drive away, and the guy will lean over the door and be like, oh, well, don't you think blah, blah, blah. And then Johnny Depp like can't leave because the guy's on his car. It's like that. Keeps trying to go, but the guy keeps saying like, wait.
Like, what's he talking about?
Gonzo.
Well, he's talking about Gonzo, but like at this point they don't know what's going on at the hotel room where he's trying to like take off. Like he's talking about like, oh, I'm hoping to meet Mr. Gonzo, like almost like Mr. Gonzo, like Dr. Gonzo's famous or something. It's really, again, another scene where you're like, I'm not following this. Why is he fucking talking?
I'm not sure like why that guy is even included, but he basically is trying to ask Johnny Depp where Gonzo went because his manager wants to meet him.
Okay.
And he says like, oh yeah, like the manager likes to meet all of our big accounts because their bill is so huge.
Oh.
But I don't really get the point of that scene either. He just keeps trying to prevent him from leaving and asking for Gonzo. Yeah,
it's very weird because he also gives a telegram to him, and it's addressed to Mr. Thompson, which at this point we're supposed to surmise that like Raoul is Hunter S. Thompson, like that's his real name, Thompson.
Okay,
Mr. Thompson. And he tells him no, it's actually from Thompson, but he's like lying. It's kind of weird. It's not like that is weird. Important, I don't think, unless I'm totally missing the point in the movie. But anyway, but he confuses the man and everything, and he like drives off. He just like fucking like takes off in the car.
Okay.
I don't really get that part either. They do mention the telegram a little bit later, but I still don't really understand its significance. I don't understand why it's there or what that scene is for.
It's like he's confused. Like I guess the hotel manager is confused because the signature on the telegram is from Dr. Gonzo.
Okay.
And it's from LA, and the manager is pretty certain that Gonzo's in the hotel, so he doesn't know that Dr. Gonzo left. And this is also the information on the telegram is from Gonzo to Thompson, which is Raoul. And so that's where we figure out that Gonzo went back to LA that morning or whenever while Raoul was out.
Okay. How?
Yeah. So anyway,
whatever.
Well, I don't know.
We don't know how.
They do kind of do this weird scene where we see Dr. Gonzo get on the plane. It's like Raoul seeing it.
Yeah, it's like it's a very quick flash of like him standing. Yeah. You know, like the big long stairs that lead up to the entrance of a plane. He's like standing at the top of there, and he waves, and that's it.
Weird.
Yeah, it just quickly flashes to him boarding a plane, and then it's done.
Weird.
Yeah, exactly. And then he takes off. He's like driving down the road. He also like he gets pulled over by police. It's another weird scene where
Okay.
he's driving
This
all
one
over
is
the place,
so
and he's almost
weird.
like driving. He's like almost on a police chase, but he like pulls off the road at like a weird rest stop or like at a canyon, near a canyon, and a police officer gets out, played by Gary Busey.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's another weird scene. Like he like grabs like Johnny Depp has a beer can in his hand, like getting out of the car, and the cop like grabs it, pours it out, and then he basically is just like, I think you should pull over at the next rest stop and take a quick nap, get yourself some sleep. Like he's just like advising him to get sleep because he's driving erratically.
Right.
But he's helping him out in that way. But at the very end of the scene, it's like really weird. Like the cop
It's so
is
weird.
up close to Johnny Depp, and he's just like, "Can I get a little kiss?"
What the fuck?
It's so weird. Like that whole scene, he seems like
What?
Like, sir, I advise you to go to the nearest rest stop and take a quick nap. Like, he's like pretty coppish.
Yeah.
And then Johnny Depp says like, oh, well, I was hoping to stop in this town for lunch on my way. What's it? It's called like, starts with a B, not Bayfield, but something like that.
Okay.
Anyway, he says, I wanted to stop in this town for lunch. And then the cop says, oh, excellent seafood. You got to have like the crab, whatever. And they're like recommending seafood to each other.
Yeah.
And then the cop says something along the lines of like, before you go, just look into my eyes. And then it's quiet. And he says, can I have a little kiss before you go? And it's so bizarre. And I think that's the end of the scene. It's really weird.
Yeah, basically.
That's weird.
And Johnny Depp just like looks weird, and then it's driving away. But he goes like, it's very lonely out here. That's what
the
Gary Busey
heck?
says.
That's so funny.
It's another weird one.
So Johnny Depp drives away, and he like blows by the rest stop that was like recommended to him. He keeps saying that he wants to go to Bakerfield, which is like some little town. So he gets to the crossroads, and there's a sign for LA and a sign for Bakersfield. And he like turns into Bakersfield and immediately runs into
Toby Maguire.
Come on.
And he's standing there with his thumb out, like still hitchhiking.
Oh my god. Come on.
And he's like, oh, like he's paranoid that he's gonna like hurt him. The hitchhiker's gonna hurt him or something.
At the beginning of the movie, when Toby Maguire first gets in the car and then leaves, Johnny Depp is worried he's gonna call the cops on them.
Okay.
So they try to like speed off really quick before this guy has a chance to go call the police.
Yeah.
So then at this part, when Toby Maguire reappears, that's why he freaks out. He's like, this guy's going to call the cops. And then he just drives away and you don't see Toby Maguire again. It's so odd.
Yeah.
I wonder if like
it's very weird.
there's no way Toby Maguire's been stuck in the desert for like 2 days straight.
Apparently.
You know, I wonder if like they ever actually made it to LA. You know what I mean? Like this is all actually just happening in like a couple hours worth of time.
Right.
And like they've just been driving in like a circle or something. And that's why.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell, especially because like there's a lot of parts where it's clear that they're tripping and they're not tripping. But there's also a lot of parts where, like I said before, Johnny Depp questions if he's actually on an assignment. So it is hard to tell. And that's a good point. Like maybe the whole movie is imagined.
Yeah.
I will say from a narrative point of view, the movie definitely like switches perspectives a little bit. Not switches. It's always from Johnny Depp's perspective, but there's times where you're supposed to see how high he is from like a realistic perspective. Like, I don't think there's ever anything that's like, that didn't actually happen. Only when it's obvious. Only when things are tripping out and like there's lizards and shit. But like,
maybe a better word
did technically happen.
Yeah, maybe it's not like his perspective, because you're right. It is from Johnny Depp's perspective, the whole movie. But maybe like you're supposed to feel his mindset. If you know what I mean, like you can sense when he's high and you can sense when he's not, but the perspective is always from his point of view.
Oh yeah. Anyway, he goes back the other way after he sees the hitchhiker, and then it kind of cuts to him at like a side of the road payphone, and he phones Gonzo, who's like in his office in LA, I guess.
Apparently.
Yeah, in his attorney's office, and he's telling him, he's like, I got you a room at the Flamingo Hotel in Las Vegas. He has to go back to Vegas. He wants him to cover, like, you got to cover this
There's a new
district attorney
story.
conference on
That's
narcotics.
such bullshit,
It's like a
right?
conference. Yeah.
He's lying.
A
Well, I don't know
conference
if
about
like,
drugs.
this is real. No, this is no. The conference is real. Like
No way.
It's his new journalist assignment. He's got to go cover, cover this district attorney conference about drugs.
No way.
Oh my god! And then at some point during this conversation, which is so funny, like Gonzo says, like, "Yep, I booked you a room at the Flamingo." And then I don't know how, I can't remember how he can tell, but he's like, "Are you not there right now?" or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnny Depp's in the
Yeah.
middle of the desert, and he's
Yeah.
like, "No, I'm there right now. I'm sitting by the pool." Blah blah blah. And it's like, oh my god.
Just
Yeah.
like how
So he-
intensely
Like, how
this
did
guy
this
lies.
happen? How did you?
Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah, it's really fucked. So he does go back to Vegas. He's somehow, for some reason, rents a new Cadillac, a white
Oh my
Cadillac.
god.
Yeah.
Oh baby.
Like another like super fancy car. He drives back into the hotel, and he's checking in. He walks to the hotel, and it's all these district attorneys, right? So they're all like law, like, you know, lawyers, but like law more like who work with police. District attorneys work with the law more than they defend criminals. So
Right.
it's all like all these cops, and he's like, oh, like, and they're all looking at him, and then everyone goes back to their normal selves. But then there's a scene with the desk clerk at the Flamingo, who is like he's like a gay man, and this like district attorney is like screaming at him and calling him, you know, the F
Oh,
word.
right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, and like I forget what happens. He like he keeps telling this, like, he tells the cop or the attorney that his reservation's been moved, and he's like, so this attorney's yelling at him,
Like red in the
And then-
face yelling.
Yeah.
yeah. So then Raul just like steps right in front of him and then just checks in, and
Yeah.
like this dude fucking loses his mind, and it's just like, it's crazy.
I can't remember what he says, but the desk clerk is supposed to be like a gay guy.
Yeah.
But there's a line he says that is like kind of quirky or like sort of funny in a strange way, but I can't remember what he says. Can't remember that line.
Is this
I
while
know
he's
that,
checking
like,
in or while the guy's getting yelled at?
While the guy's yelling.
Well,
like
the guy's getting
I
yelled
think.
at, and the desk clerk's name is Sven. He's played by Chris
Nice.
Right.
Maloney, who
Yeah.
is originally in like Law and Order. He was in Law and Order, but he's like a well-known actor. But he like he's being screamed at, and he's just like, I'm sorry, but your reservation is down the road. And then Raul is like, but I could hear what he was really saying, and then it kind of cuts to him, the desk
Right,
clerk, like
right.
his inner thoughts, almost like he's
Yeah,
saying his inner thoughts, which
yeah.
is just like, he's like, I've been bullied by you fucking pricks all my life,
Yeah.
and now it's my turn to be in charge, or something like
Yeah.
that. Like,
yeah,
it's-
that's
Oh,
what it
I love
is.
that. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
yeah.
I love that.
So
That's really
Johnny Depp
interesting.
Gets to his suite in the Pink Flamingo, and
When
is
he opens the
immediately
door-
attacked by
Gonzo.
Yeah.
Hi.
What?
Yeah, like it turns
Yeah.
out he's the
Gonzo.
assistant.
Hello.
Yeah. And he's with a girl named Lucy.
It's
yeah,
LSD.
there's this random lady named Bruce who's basically, I guess we're told, is tripping on I think it's tripping on acid for the first time in her life. She's never done drugs.
Oh shit. She's
And
really gotten
Gonzo
herself
met her
into
on
it.
the plane back to Las Vegas. Like, he
Come
took a plane back to
on.
Las Vegas to meet Raul in this hotel, and met her on the plane, and is now tripping her out on acid.
I'm so nervous for this
Now-
woman.
Oh, yeah. At the end of the day, I'm going to be honest. The rest of the movie is very fuzzy to me. Very
Okay.
fuzzy.
It is for me
I'm
too,
like Hunter
actually.
S. Thompson. I'm not sure of my memories of this movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely like the ending is a bit fuzzy for me too, and I didn't actually finish the ending today. I do remember Lucy.
Fun fact, though. Yeah, Lucy is played by Christina Ricci.
That's right. That's
Love
right.
her.
Long-term listeners of our podcast will know that the episode before this one also starred Johnny Depp and Christina Ricci.
Oh yeah,
That's a weird
I
coincidence.
forgot about that. I was like, yeah, why
Very
is she
weird,
so prominent in my mind right now? Because I felt like I was just talking.
Anyway.
That's right, we did.
Yeah, exactly.
Sleepy Hollow, baby.
So Lucy is like biting his leg and attacking him
Cool.
because she's tripping.
Yeah. And then what?
Basically, they leave her in the hotel room. They like leave her.
Okay. What the fuck is wrong with these
Yeah.
guys? Like, when do they actually do anything?
Never. Like it's always
Never.
it's always a
It's
mess.
a drug
Like
trip.
yeah, I feel like there's no point in the movie where they actually like have a goal. Like they never actually set out to really do anything. They're just always in the middle of a trip and like something will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really weird.
It is. Like the
Yeah,
the
so the
circus
next
scene,
major
for example, on the carousel. The
Oh,
goal
yeah.
is not to go to a circus, but they get so tripped out that they end up there.
Yeah.
You know, like they never have a goal. They just
Exactly.
kind of
Meander
Go with
through
the flow.
Las Vegas.
Yes. That's the movie, yeah. And so they go to this district attorney conference, and it's just this room full of these lawmen, and they're listening to like a lecture on addicts,
The dangers
basically,
of
and it's basically
marijuana.
like,
Amazing.
yeah, dangers of marijuana. And it's this really great speaker who's just like, he's just like,
it's almost comical. Like earlier when we were
oh, yeah,
talking
he's super
about
comical.
school,
Yeah.
about how school taught us about drugs.
Yeah.
That's what this scene is like.
Amazing.
And then I think there's like a video too that they play, and it reminds me so much of what we were just talking about. Like, don't smoke weed,
Oh, yeah.
like gateway drug. That's the kind of presentation this
Yeah.
is.
oh yeah. Yeah, and it's for cops, so just like, be sure to know your dope fiends. Like, they'll have semen
Yeah.
on their pants from jacking off so much until they find their
Yeah,
next rape
that's
victim.
right.
Oh my God.
That's right.
And like Raul looks down, and it looks like he's got some crusted semen on his pants.
Ew.
So he's all worried, like looking around.
Oh my God.
Uh,
That's sickening.
and then
And so
I
they're
think
all-
they just end up leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just leave the conference, and when they're back in the hotel room, he gets a call from the front desk guy, Sven, who's like super buddy with him, and I guess like Lucy left them a message.
Okay.
And this whole time, Raul is like worried that Gonzo might have committed like statutory rape because Lucy's like underage.
Okay.
And she's like drunk. And so he has this like vision of them in like this it's super comical, cartoony like courtroom. And they're all dressed in like the white and black, like stripy things. And they're being like sentenced to like, you know,
Ridiculous
like life in
sentences.
prison for doing
Yeah.
drugs and raping
Yeah.
this girl. Like it's, yeah.
And if I remember correctly, they shoot it in a way that like the camera is super low on the ground, and then you're looking up at the person, so they make the judge look like
Oh,
super
yeah.
menacing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing, Alenka. You took a little bit of film school, a little bit
Yep.
of production school.
Couple months.
So
Yep.
this whole film, this whole film is basically like, basically shot on like a 16 millimeter. Like it's so wide. They move from like wide on like you know, they're driving in the car right into Johnny Depp's fucking face, and they make it so big and wide. Like they're always
Yeah. And
he's
there's a
always
couple
moving in
of
and out
scenes
of the characters' faces.
yeah, it's true. I think there's a few scenes where maybe I'm not using the right term, but I'm pretty sure they use like a fisheye lens or a fisheye angle, especially on Johnny Depp because he's always stoned,
Mhm.
just to like distort it even that much more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Fun
apologies
to
for
watch.
listeners who who love this movie, but this is where it gets real fucking fuzzy for me. So we're gonna speed through near the end because I am very like, well, I can't
We're
remember.
pretty
what
close to the
happens
end,
at
though. No,
We
I think
are.
we're about
We
there.
are getting close. Yeah. Basically, what I can remember is
like they left the courtroom. They get like a message from Lucy, and then the trippy court scene where they're sentenced to life in prison for nothing. And yeah, I think we're pretty much at the end.
Getting close. Yeah, there's some stuff that happens. I think, like, I don't know, something like, oh yeah, there's something like they're in the room and he's tripping out and he's like all worried, and Gonzo turns into like this fucking hairy demon with a bunch of tits on his back.
Cool.
Oh
cool,
yeah, I
cool.
forgot all about that.
Those will come in handy.
He keeps talking. He's just like tits, 5 tits, and it's like his breasts on the back, but he's also like this hairy, like he looks like
and he's
if
got
our listeners have seen Big Mouth, he looks like the
right.
hormone demon.
Hormone monster.
That's
He
what
also
kinda
has
looks like.
at
Hormone
this
monster.
point
Amazing.
yellow eyes with like slit pupils like a cat.
Nice.
Yeah. Not Johnny Depp, but this is Benicio del Toro Gonzo. This is
Yeah.
what he turns into. That this is how Johnny Depp's perceiving him.
Right.
And like this serves us how?
More trips.
It's just more drug trippy. Yeah. It's just
more drug stuff.
I hate this movie.
And
You gotta watch it.
eventually it's really hard to follow because so much happens.
It is.
Johnny Depp talks so fast. It's all disjointed. It actually got pretty bad reviews, and it's only like a cult classic because in the early days
I
it
actually
really didn't blow up.
No, it didn't. I was gonna say the movie financially failed. Like they spent more money on the movie than they earned.
Right.
And then exactly what you said, like it kind of became a cult classic, and now everybody loves it that I talk to anyway. But it didn't do well. Like the ratings were bad, and they made no money.
That sucks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Why?
So, getting to the end.
I'm just wondering why they made it. Like, was it just like a passion project for this?
That's what it feels like to me. Especially considering it's based on an actual story of his. That's what it seems like.
Yeah,
to
like
me.
how self-indulgent he was.
They made it like most people. It wasn't self-indulgent. I think Terry Gilliam and like 12 Monkeys is also a really interesting movie. It has more of a narrative, which is why it was more popular, I think. But
and like I want to say like there was like an obvious conflict though in like 12 Monkeys, and like a obvious like stream of events.
Every movie has to have an obvious conflict. You know, the conflict here is
if they want to make some fucking money.
Well, it's not all about money, Alenka.
Ugh, you can't make more movies with less money.
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, he passes out. Yeah, Duke passes. Like Raoul passes out. Johnny Depp passes out. As he's seeing Richard Nixon's head like float out of the TV screen that he's watching, and so when he wakes up again, the room is in shambles. Like he doesn't know what happened,
and it's a new room now.
It's completely fucking trash. No, it's the same room. Well, sorry, no, it's not the same room as way before. This is the new room in the Pink Flamingo Hotel. Where the attorneys conference is, and it is like in
trashed
shambles,
again.
not like what we saw previously. Trashed again. The bed is like burnt out. Like there's a big hole in the bed that it was like on fire. It's like burnt.
What the fuck?
And he is wearing like fishing boots and he's a strap-on lizard tail, and he's got
so cool.
He's got a microphone connected to a tape recorder, all tied to his chest and head.
The lizard tail is what makes the outfit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And like basically he's like he's like trying to listen to the tape recorder to like figure out what happened, and it's all gibberish, but there's different flashbacks of, I guess, what happened between when he like passed out and when he woke up. And like, he is like, the maid comes in the room and fucking Gonzo is like threatening to kill her and saying that they're actually undercover cops because there's like a cop conference in town. And it's like, it's so fucked. Like, she's like literally on the ground and he's going to like kill her.
Perfect.
And then
this guy needs to see somebody.
Yeah.
Help him with that killing thing.
It's so, and then he flashes back to like Gonzo puking in the toilet. And then they're also at another, is it the same rotating bar in the carnival, but there's a monkey there.
A live one?
I do think it's supposed to be the same
like
bar, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's like an orangutan and Raoul's talking to this monkey.
What the
I think he tries to buy the monkey.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's really fucked. There's all these different flashbacks, and like they're destroying the Cadillac with like coconuts and hammers.
Perfect.
And a bunch of people are looking at them.
Oh no.
And yeah, they're like destroying that. And then there's also a shrine to Demi Reynolds over the bed. Like, it's not,
That's
wasn't
hilarious.
there originally. Someone made it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
As we should all have above our beds.
I agree.
Shrine to Debbie Reynolds.
Yeah, and it's really, yeah. And then and eventually he finds like this knife full of blood.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
no.
doesn't, yeah. And then he doesn't know what happened, but then he has one last flashback, and they're at this diner eating, like it's in the evening. And like Gonzo gives the waitress like a note that says "backdoor beauty."
Oh,
Which is-
yeah.
Is that
I
supposed
forgot
to be
all
butt
about this
stuff?
part. Yeah.
Is that a butt stuff
I guess
thing?
so.
It's a butt stuff
The
thing.
waitress
Okay.
calls him a pimp and is like screaming at him because she thinks like
Oh.
he's trying to like, I don't know, take her like as a prostitute or something, or that she's a prostitute. They like
Okay.
argue. He again takes out his fucking knife and then
Yeah.
cuts like a piece of pie that's on the fucking
Oh.
display. Like eats
Okay,
it.
good.
It's
Perfect.
yeah.
Threatening.
And he like
Very threatening.
yeah. But he buys the pie and he shoves the money in the waitress shirt and they leave. And it's really fucking weird. But when they leave, like, I guess Johnny Depp drives him to the airport and drops him off the airport, and he leaves. Like Gonzo leaves on the airport on the airplane.
Fuck. I feel like it just repeats itself.
And then
A little bit.
it does,
I
yeah.
suppose,
And then a little bit. And that's when Johnny Depp like drives back to the hotel, and that's kind of where we are now, that he's woken up from this trip.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he's
And
like,
is he
sits
apparently
down.
sober now?
I guess, yeah. It's kind of like he's
Presumed
trying
to
to remember
be?
everything that happened over this whole time.
Yeah.
And
Replaying the events of the evening.
Right.
yeah. Basically, yeah. That's and then he leaves the hotel, and he like drives. He leaves the hotel and he's driving back to LA, and the car kind of drives by, and we see the sign that says, "You are
The
now
Welcome to
leaving
Vegas
Fear and Loathing,
sign.
population 0." Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
But
And then the
yeah,
music
and then
at
the
the end
credits
is
kinda
the song
roll
that
on the
goes dun
ground.
dun 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 dun. Yeah, that's the ending of the song.
I love that
Or the
song.
movie.
It's a
Yeah.
good jam.
Yeah, the credits roll on the highway kind of at the start, and then
Yeah.
it's regular credits.
Yeah, that's it.
But that's the whole trippy movie.
That shit's fucked.
Yeah, we've arrived at the end.
Yeah,
I'm glad that's
So-
the end song. I'm actually very excited.
Yeah, the end, like the song they picked for the end is A, like classic and catchy, but B, it almost wraps up the movie in a way that says, it's all good.
it's
Like
all
it's
good.
fine. Everything's
Yeah.
fine. If you know what I mean. Like it's
Like,
such a
everything you watched
chill,
didn't
lax
matter.
song. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was legit, probably just their average weekend.
Exactly. Like that's the impression
Yeah.
the ending song gives you.
So fucked.
Mhm.
So
It is
watch
fucked.
it.
Alenka, did you even follow? Could you even follow any of that movie? I can't.
Honestly,
even
it's just
follow how I talked
nonsense.
about it.
It sounds like absolute
It is
nonsense.
very
And it does
nonsensical.
really actually bother me that there's no conflict.
And like
And
I
no,
said
like,
at the
stream of
beginning, the
plot.
first time I tried to watch it, I decided not to watch it because it's so
Fucking everywhere. Yeah.
It took probably like maybe 2 or 3 attempts to actually get through the
That's
whole movie.
rough.
Yeah.
What made you want to
Yeah.
try so many
Because it's
times?
so weird. And you definitely, like even today when I watched it, I had to, like on Netflix, there's the go back 10 seconds button. I used that a couple of times.
Yeah.
So I was like, wait, yeah.
I know it is on my list. So I've been wanting to watch it.
You gotta.
I
It's on
probably will.
Netflix.
I know it's on
interesting.
Netflix. Yeah.
If not for just like, if not just for like the visuals of everything, it's really bright and weird and like just trippy. Trippy is the only word you can really describe it
To describe
It
it
is. And
yeah.
every individual scene is weird and like unique in its own way, which is cool.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I do have Netflix and it is on my list. So I think there's actually a high probability I'm going to maybe watch this.
Yay.
Might watch it tonight
Great.
as I fall asleep.
That's what I'm going to do. Well,
Yeah.
like I said, I didn't get to watch the end today. So
So
that's
she'll
what I'm
finish it.
watching before bed.
Perfect bedtime movie.
Well,
Yep.
Alenka,
Talk to me.
how many hallucinogenic cacti do you give this movie?
Ooh. I'm envisioning these
Out of what?
hallucinogenic.
5?
That's for me
10?
to decide.
Okay.
God, Adriana.
Okay. Yeah.
I imagine these hallucinogenic cacti to be more of the succulent variety.
Like tiny.
Yes. So
Yes.
I actually say
Yeah.
like 20 of those because you have to go
20?
with a lot. But also, the flat cacti?
Yeah.
Like they kind of
Yeah.
look like pancakes.
Right. That's cute.
I feel like a giant one of those.
Yeah.
Like a giant pancake
yeah.
one. Yeah. And one that you'd like
almost a
slice.
flat acid tablet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but huge.
But I feel like you would slice it open and slime would just go everywhere. And that would be the start of your trip.
Right.
Mhm.
So you give
Yeah.
this movie one gigantic flat cactus, pancake cactus,
And
Out of-
20 out of 20
and 20
small
regular-
succulent peyotes.
Cacti.
I don't
Peyotes.
understand this ranking system.
You don't need to. It's just like the movie.
There's
All
no,
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
One day
yeah,
I'll
that makes
re-listen to
sense.
all these episodes and create a comprehensive ranking system guide.
Never.
That's
That
fair.
day is not today.
No, I
Definitely
don't want it
not
to make
today.
sense.
Oh,
Yeah, what a fucking trip. That was gross.
Very much
I
is.
like, there's really nothing else I can add to this. There's nothing I could possibly hypothesize other than like, how long did he actually trip for?
I'm under the impression it was a
Mm-hmm.
weekend because the scene where he wakes up and there's like 5 billion bills posted on the wall for room service, he says
Over 48 hours.
Over 48 hours. So I feel like it's a weekend.
Yeah.
But you don't like they never
Definitely,
other
yeah.
than that, they don't really specify.
That's disgusting
yeah.
to be that fucking guy. His body,
And at the beginning, like the very beginning when Toby Maguire comes in.
Right.
And
Toby,
Mick. When Gonzo starts kind of freaking out and
Maguire.
Johnny Depp says, "Oh, he has a bad heart, like heart attack, whatever."
Yeah.
He gives him like stuff in a rag to huff, and then Gonzo's fine, but he like slumps into the seat and like closes his eyes, like it looks like he's asleep. He's like done. And then Johnny Depp is like, "Oh, that looks good," and decides to take some too.
Stop.
And he literally like huffs it, and the sound he makes, he goes, and then he's out.
Yeah.
While they're driving?
Oh no, they're
That's
pulled
great.
over. But then the camera zooms out for like a bird's eye view, and Gonzo's in the driver's seat, passed out. Johnny Depp is in the back, passed out, and then Toby Maguire's just sitting there like, "What do I do?"
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, this is why, like, I feel like it would actually be longer than a weekend, though, because they pass out so many times.
Yeah, they do. And in random places.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
That's disgusting.
Well,
It's a good one.
Adriana, I wanna thank you for coming on.
Thank you,
Mhm.
sir.
To the
This was so
podcast.
fun. And I love, like I said, I like talking about movies that I love. So this was fun.
This was good.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we're glad you love this movie. Of all the movies, we're glad.
And you know
love
what?
This movie.
I actually love that Adriana loves this movie because it's so fucked up. Might I add, Adriana, no offense, your art's a little fucked up.
Thank you.
It's a bunch
exactly. What?
Which, by the way, we want to know.
ways.
You're going to tell us in a minute where everybody can follow your stuff.
Oh,
But you guys, it's a bunch of headless boobies. It's fucking amazing. Like, it's the best shit I've ever looked at, and it's
thanks.
fascinating.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, where can our listeners find that, Adriana?
Yes. My Insta, it's just at adriana.polanic. And then my website's the same thing. No dot in the middle, just adrianapolanic.com. And that's basically my portfolio.
Fun fact, if you go on Adriana's website, very first image, nice little drawing of Alenka.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's sickening.
Yeah.
No boobies in that one.
Yeah, it's not Alenka's boobies. It's her face.
Yeah.
But the rest of them are ladies.
Mostly with boobies.
Lots of nudes, girls in bathing suits. And yeah, that's about it.
And what if somebody wants like to buy?
Well, there's a contact page on my website. You just fill out a form and it sends to my email automatically. But I also posted my email on there too if you just want to shoot me a Gmail or
Gmail.
send me a message on Instagram.
Hell yeah. Who knows?
That's
Maybe
great.
Adriana will draw your boobies one day.
I might.
I might. I love it.
I feel like we need to commission you to create a Fear and Loathing Las Vegas inspired drawing of me and Alenka as
Oh my
podcasters.
god.
Oh my god, that'd be great. No
Holy shit,
nudity
Will,
in
we
that
need to do
one,
that.
but I would definitely do that. That'd be so fun.
Oh
No.
my god.
No. Please
How
don't
much
draw my
money do you
boobies,
want?
but that's
I
okay.
won't.
No, actually only draw Will's boobies. Oh, better yet. Oh, our like Hawaiian shirts should be boobies on them instead of Hawaiian print.
Oh my god, I love that.
I just like
Oh,
saying
yeah.
boobies.
There you go.
Yeah, tell us how much you want. We'll pay you all of it.
All right, we'll do. Free for you guys, but yeah.
No, no, unacceptable. We pay for that shit.
Yeah. Well, guys, if you are interested in not seeing our boobies, you can follow
But
us.
just hearing us, hearing the body that holds the boobies.
Yeah. Yes. You can follow us at Haven't Seen a Podcast on Facebook and Instagram and at haven't_seen_it on Twitter. We also have a website that's www.haven'tseenapodcast.com. On there, you find the entire list of movies Alenka hasn't seen. It's quite a bit.
Yeah.
It is a
we're
lot.
Working through
It
them. We're going
is.
to get there, guys. 10 years from now.
I don't know.
We'll be
I don't
finished
know.
up.
We'll get there.
I gotta say, I was
We'll
a
get there.
little shook when I saw that list, and some of the movies that are on there, I thought, why? Like, I think one of them. Let's see. Well, Fear and Loathing was on there. Can't believe it. And
I'm
then
sorry.
I think I saw Baby Driver. That
I'm
one's cute.
sorry.
That one's cute. Kevin Spacey's in it.
There's a
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a lot
There's
of good
on
ones.
there.
A lot of good ones.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I almost picked 2001: Space Odyssey, but that one's even like more difficult to explain than
That
this
would be
one.
a two-parter right there.
That would
Yes.
be maybe even 3.
I can't handle any more
Um,
movies that are even similar to this.
Well,
I'm
one
sorry.
thing I want to say is if you love our show, you want us to keep making our show, we'll keep making it regardless, but please review us if you can. Go on iTunes, rate us and review us. Like in our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, let us know that you want to keep listening and you love what we're doing because we love doing it for you. And we'd love to hear it. So, do that if you can.
You can. I know you can. And you guys, on that note, I would say try drugs.